We hope that you will join us in our effort to promote good sportsmanship. And remember that high school athletic events are learning and educational experience for students. We strongly encourage you to show your respect for the student athletes, coaches, officials, spectators, and workers that are present. recognize their performance in a positive manner. These students have devoted much of their themselves in preparation for this contest. At this time, we would ask that you please direct your attention to the video board for an important message by our student athletes.
As a memorial to the
At this time, we ask that you please rise and join us in honoring our country by the playing of our national anthem. Memorial and Central's Air Force Junior ROTC is presenting the colors on the floor tonight. You will also notice members of Memorial's American Sign Language classes signing the national anthem for us tonight. A reminder to stay standing until the colors have been completely above the floor. Thank you.
This edition of school basketball game of the week is being brought to you by Intera Credit Union. We get it because we live here too. They're announcing the starting lineups here at fabled Northside Gym. We will as well. Here's Bob Nagel.
And tonight's starting lineups, first of all, for Elkhart Central are brought to you by Sanders and Pianowski. And in the starting lineup for Elkhart Central, Ty Wendy gets a start. He wears number 2. He's a 5'11 senior. Also, at a forward position, Isaiah Chandler wears number 10, 6'2 senior. Number 21, Luke Tyke is a 6'3 junior, play inside. Mark Brownlee, 6'1 senior. He wore number 23 as he did in football. And Cameron Daniels is number 24. He's a 5'9 sophomore. That's the starting lineup for Elkhart Central. And now for the Elkhart Memorial Crimson Chargers, Dejan Lewis is a 6-foot junior. He'll start in the backcourt along with Brockton Miller, a 6'1 senior. Another guard on the floor is Titus Skinny Rogers. He's a 5'9 sophomore. Up front, Malachi Emmons, a 6-foot sophomore with a lot of experience. And Brandon Brooks, who didn't play last year, but at 6'5 and a senior, he's a welcome addition back to this Elkhart Memorial Club. So again, it's Lewis, Miller, Rogers, Emmons, and Brooks for Memorial. Wendy, Chandler, Tyke, Brownlee, and Daniels for Elkhart Central's Blue Blazers.
The officials for tonight, good crew here. That's Jimmy Arnett in the middle. He's flanked by Danny Hurt and Mark Kenyon. We've seen these guys quite a bit over the years, and I'm sure they'll do a stellar job tonight. The series history, this the 79th meeting between these two schools. Elkhart Memorial leads at 41-37. Last year, the Chargers won it 70-61. Just like USC and UCLA, they'll wear the colors. Blue for the Blazers, crimson for the Chargers. We're ready to go from Northside Gym. Memorial wins the opening tip. Chargers 1-0. They beat Elkhart Christian 77-48 on Tuesday night. Arjan Lewis had the basketball, now gives it off to Malachi Emmons, who misses the shot. Luke Tyke with the rebound. And the Blazers, who are 0-2, will have their first possession. Central lost its opener big to Northridge, and then lost a heartbreaker to Goshen Tuesday night. They had a 4-point lead with a minute to go, but the Redhawks hit a pair of threes and wound up winning 40-38. Isaiah Chandler, you may know that name from football. Cameron Daniels, and there's Ty Windy with the ball. Chargers opening up aggressive as Chandler's three is off the mark. The tip by Daniels no good, and here comes Memorial the other way. Chargers will push the tempo somewhat, although there's a travel called on Memorial for the first turnover of the game. What you would expect, a frantic atmosphere and perhaps a little sloppy in the execution early on. Memorial coming out with some man-to-man pressure here, Bob.
And full court, so they really want to ramp up the intensity and the quickness. And now we have a reach-in foul. Nope.
Carry called on Cameron Daniels, and so each team with one turnover in the opening minute. You look at Kyle Sears in his 6th year on the bench at Elkhart Memorial, 61-60. Graduated from Memorial. In fact, he's the only man on either side to be both a player and a head coach in this rivalry.
Played for Steve Johnson during some really great years at Memorial.
Arjan Lewis trying to work around Cameron Daniels, and the left-hand layup can't go home, but Brandon Brooks' putback won't go either. Both teams ice cold here in the early going. Daniels will walk it up slowly for Scott Seckel's Blue Blazers. That's Mark Brownlee. Had it poked away and stolen by Memorial, and a foul called on Luke Tyke of Elkhart Central.
Well, if there's one name you wouldn't want to associate with a personal foul early, it'd be Luke Tyke. His first, the team's first.
You mentioned Kyle playing for Steve Johnson. He also played for Mike Lightfoot at Bethel. As you see Donovan Johnson check into the game, taking the place of Mark Brownlee. Boy, the other night against Goshen, Scott Seckel had an iron 5 in the first quarter. Tonight, a minute 42 in, he makes his first substitution. Memorial will try to settle down with the ball. Skinny Rogers with the basketball. That's Brandon Brooks working on Isaiah Chandler. Backed him down to the baseline and is fouled, and if that's on Tyke, that'd be his second. Indeed it is.
Holy cow.
You get another look on the SBO replay. Good move here by Brooks to go around Chandler. And then Tyke came over to try to help out and got too much arm. Brandon Brooks, 67% foul shooter on the year, hits the first. The free throw sponsored by Edward Jones, Elkhart Advisors.
Let's take a look at the leading scorers so far in the game. Oh, there's only 1 point.
Akita Walker checks in for Elkhart Central, a 6'2 junior. Brooks hits them both. And the Chargers have first blood.
The positive thing about Tyke getting in foul trouble early is he's going to sit, and he should be fresh for the second half. There's always a plus and a minus to that situation. Ball knocked out of bounds. Still belongs to the Blue Blazers.
Scott Seckel, the first-year head coach at Elkhart Central, former Michigan State Spartan, played for Judd Heathcote and Tom Izzo. Not his first head coaching job. He was a head coach in Michigan and South Carolina. Daniels lost the handle, and they had to give it up to Isaiah Chandler. Cameron Daniels. Now Donovan Johnson coming off the bench tonight. His brother Langston, a basketball player at Trine University. Donovan found a man underneath, but it went right through the hands of Akita Walker. And the Blazers still not on the scoreboard, 2:31 in.
The owners and staff of the Vine would like to wish the teams in tonight's game the best. The Vine is your frequent destination for casual lunch or special dinner occasions located in downtown Elkhart. From delicious steaks and seafood to specialty dishes created by Chef Cappy, make the Vine in downtown Elkhart your dining and destination this weekend. For more information or reservations, give them a call, 574-970-5006. That's the Vine. They fed our crew tonight, overcame a great challenge to get that done.
Brandon Brooks called for the personal foul, his first. Good Reuben sandwich tonight from our friends at the Vine. Tell Gene Perrin over there we said hello. It's actually Gene Perrin these days. It was Perrin when I was in high school with her. Here's Johnson down the lane, missing with the left. And the rebound to De'Arjon Lewis. Not exactly a first 3:15 for 46 Sports Classics in the summer.
No, but I tell you what, one of the things that we do on a regular basis is not make the history, but record the history for you.
Braxton Miller down the lane for two. Miller, the 6'1 senior, had 13 on Tuesday night. And the Chargers continue to put the clamps on defensively. Daniels thought about the three, instead drives for two. Cameron Daniels with Central's first basket. Back the other way, Skinny Rogers goes into the lane and draws the foul. They'll call this one on Isaiah Chandler, his first. And both teams will go to the bench. Tyke checks back in for Central. Damarian Anderson, the 6'3 freshman for Memorial. Inbounds pass to Rogers for two. Skinny Rogers with his first basket of the game. He's a transfer from Elkhart Central. Played in this game with Blazers just last year. Chandler was open for three, instead drives the baseline for two.
Nice move there by Chandler. That's a look of a veteran right there.
Rogers. Now Malachi Emmons. Emmons with the left hand works on Tyke. Couldn't get it to go. Here comes Johnson to Chandler the other way. We are tied.
Chandler able to get a couple of baskets with Tyke out of there. That was kind of the matchup that was going early.
Inside, they kick it out to Miller. Good head shoulder fake. The 15-footer wasn't home, though. Tyke knocked it out of bounds. It'll go to Memorial. Isaiah Chandler bringing the Blazer faithful to their feet as he leaves his. Good look on the SBO replay. Back to live action. Miller outside the arc for three. That won't go, and Tyke with a rebound.
Both teams with 3 rebounds in the early going.
Daniels will set it up for the Blazers. You see the clock in the bottom right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Tyke for three. It won't go, and the rebound to Miller. Chargers want to push it up. De'Arjon Lewis will launch a three. That's home. Lewis hit 21 of those a year ago for Memorial. And now we'll have a whistle, and the officials will intervene on what could have been a developing situation, give Central a chance to go to the bench and send in Isaac Stewart, a 5'11 junior.
Full court pressure again by Memorial. Low-scoring game. First 3 of the ball game looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Clearly, the one guy Central feels can handle the ball against the pressure is Daniels, and that's the one guy Memorial backs off of, but then they steal the pass. They come the other way. Anderson fouled by Daniels. First foul on Cameron Daniels, fourth on the Blazers. You get another look from SBO. And Demarion Anderson, the 6'3 freshman, will go to the line where he was perfect the other night against Elkhart Christian.
Our thanks to the team from St. Andrews Products for making our crew look good tonight. They can do the same for your school or corporation. Give them a call at 800-628-9922. Or you can email them at sales@standrewscorp.com. It's sales@standrewscorp.com. Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
1 out of 2 at the line for Demarion Anderson. The free throw sponsored by your Edward Jones Elkhart Advisors. And now it's a 2-3 zone for Elkhart Memorial. Goshen used this a lot against Central on Tuesday night and really slowed the Blazers down. Brownlee has it stripped from him. And here comes De'Arjon Lewis. He can't get it to go. Brownlee went high for the rebound. Chargers by 4. Chandler trying to change that. Goes into the lane and draws contact from De'Arjon Lewis.
Both teams doing a pretty good job keeping it one and done for the opponent.
That's only the second foul on Memorial. As you see, Scott Seckles signal the inbounds play. Chandler for 3. The iron unkind. Brownlee back up, no good, and Miller gets the rebound. Lewis directs traffic. Brownlee intercepts. Nice play on defense by Brownlee, who lays it in for 2. Even when he was playing football and not playing basketball the last 3 years, Mark Brownlee said his favorite sport to play is actually basketball. He's just really, really good at football. Get up a bucket in the bump to Malachi Emmons, and he'll go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. Called a foul on Isaac Stewart, Bob.
Emmons seems like he's been around for a long time, just a sophomore. Played a lot of minutes last year as a freshman.
Free throw sponsored by your Edward Jones Elkhart Advisors. Malachi Emmons only a 50% foul shooter, and that's what he was last year. Misses that one, knocked out of bounds by Memorial. And again, Memorial will offer full court pressure. It has generated some turnovers here in the first quarter. Open is Ty Windy in the corner, but he can't get it to go. The rebound goes off of whom? Elkhart Memorial will be Central's ball.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is celebrating 60 years as the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. 60 years of serving the automotive, medical, aerospace, and military and defense industries. Go to iftworldwide.com for more information. Like the teams in tonight's game, they're working toward a great finish.
Memorial gets another steal off the 2-3 zone. Lewis. Daniels guarding Lewis, but Lewis goes right by him, drops it off for the bucket of the bump. Demarion Anderson. But this is all created by De'Arjon Lewis and the awareness of Anderson to go to the post when he sees the penetration. That's what Scott Seckle was worried about.
6 players on the scoring column already for Memorial, 3 for Elkhart Central.
Anderson's free throw, sponsored by your Edward Jones Elkhart Advisors, is good. Biggest lead of the night for Memorial at 7. Daniels trying to shake and bake, got through and found Brownlee open on the baseline, but he couldn't connect.
Good looking shot, good pass.
Let's see if Memorial holds for the last shot. De'Arjon Lewis again, guarded by Cameron Daniels. 3 is no good, and that'll do it for 1 quarter of play at Northside Gym in Elkhart. A quarter dominated by the Memorial Crimson Chargers. Even though Isaiah Chandler had the jam, it's the Chargers who have the lead by 7 on 46. And this edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to us by our friends at IU South Bend, fulfilling the big crowd on hand at Northside Gym. They're loud and proud down there on the sideline. So too is Bo Hunt for the Bills Heating Sideline Report.
One of the biggest things for that first quarter was the sixes. 6 guys scoring and 6 fouls on Central. So I think those are the 2 biggest things I take away. The foul trouble that Central's in and the diversities in scoring for the Memorial team out there. They really are spreading the ball around, really getting to a lot of people. And I think that was the difference in that first quarter, guys.
Thank you very much, Bo. A reminder, our second quarter tonight brought to us by our friends at 4T Door Systems, who also sponsor the live stream where you're watching on Facebook and YouTube tonight. Second quarter begins with Central in possession of the basketball, trailing by 7.
Those 6 fouls for Central, 2 of them being on Tyke, was really a setback. As a head coach, you plan a lot of things in your game plan around Tyke.
That shot off the mark. Tyke gets the offensive rebound, triple team. And a stolen pass by DeArjon Lewis results in a Memorial basket. Memorial's quickness on defense bedeviling the Blue Blazers in the early going. They're down 9. Brownlee goes crashing into the lane and draws contact.
Would have been a first down. Nothing wrong with contact when it comes to Brownlee. He can handle it pretty well. Folks, think Pyramid Equipment for your snowplow needs. Sales, services, and installations of residential and commercial grade snowplows, parts, and salt spreaders. Pyramid offers military, police, and firemen discounts. Find us at PyramidEquipmentInc.com. PyramidEquipmentInc.com.
Chandler and Tyke misfire for the Blazers, Lewis for the Chargers, and Chandler is stripped by Skinny Rogers, but Central will retain possession. Here's another look from SBO. Good hands that time by Rogers. Central being very deliberate with the basketball here. Memorial has done a good job of overplaying the passing lanes and causing havoc defensively. Tyke finds Wendy, and he travels. And again, the quickness of Memorial forcing that turnover.
Really is, and Central's had some good looks. They're working to the offense or what they want as far as shots go, but haven't been able to knock him down. Wendy comes out now, and checking back in for Central is Donovan Johnson.
We've got a timeout on the floor. It's sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. 6:41 to go first half. Memorial up 17-8 on 46. Edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you in part by South Bend Orthopedics, the team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947.
Service to their clients is their first and compelling priority. The firm of Sanders and Pianowski want to take time and wish both teams well. Sanders and Pianowski on the Riverwalk in downtown Elkhart.
Saw my man Matt Yakey from Sanders and Pianowski before the game tonight. Good to make contact with him. As you look at Scott Seckel on the sideline, Scott will be the girls' golf coach here at Elkhart Central. They have figured out all the fall sports positions. I said Elkhart Central at Elkhart High School next year. These 2 schools consolidating into one beginning next year. And they have chosen all the fall sports coaches for next season already, including Josh Shattuck for football. Braxton Miller's three is well off the mark. Brownlee the rebound.
Another one and done. It's 6 rebounds now for Elkhart Central.
Brownlee underneath for 2, and the Blazers get a much-needed basket. Brownlee tied for the team leading scoring tonight with 4, which I say with a bit of a shock since he was only averaging 3 a game. Here's Malachi Emmons going in for the layup for 2, and the Chargers push the lead back up to 9.
For the finest in casual dining, look no further than the Bristol Street Cafe, located at 500 West Bristol Street in Elkhart. Serving outstanding hearty breakfast and daily lunch specials until 2. Bristol Street Cafe is a proud sponsor of all Elkhart High School athletics.
The ball careening around. The Blazers have it now, and Brownlee has another 2 points. Brownlee with 6. Blazers trying to stay in it here in the first half. Nice move by Skinny Rogers, but an offensive foul called on Memorial.
You know, one of the things about Brownlee stepping up and trying to score a little bit should open some things up on the wing and out top for Elkhart Central.
They call the foul that time on Braxton Miller. And Memorial will go to the bench and send in Rodney Gates, a freshman. He had a freshman trying to guard Mark Brownlee down there. Let's see if the Blazers trying to exploit that matchup. Daniels for 3. Air ball. Here comes De'Arjon Lewis the other way. And a travel called on Malachi Emmons.
3 turnovers for Memorial. 4 so far for Elkhart Central.
But more full court pressure here by the Chargers. Daniels tries to split the defenders and drew some contact that time. And a blocking foul will be called.
Contact came before the shot, even though the shot went in. Folks, Thor Industries loves this time of year because team pride is on full display. That team culture from Northside Gym extends to our Thor Industries team. Build your future right here in Elkhart with one of Thor's excellent career opportunities. Get started today at thorindustries.com.
Brownlee earns the Blazers a trip to the foul line. He draws the foul on Rodney Gates, and you'll get another look here from SBO. Actually, they called the foul on Emmons, and that's his second. Brownlee is 0 for 4 from the foul line this year. The All-NIC running back finally is on the board at the foul line. 7 points tonight to lead the Central offense.
Got 5 of them here in the second quarter. Still 4:42 to go.
The funny thing about Mark Brownlee, okay, he's 6'1", but the comment I heard from everybody in this gym that came in contact with him last night, that kid's huge. He is.
Dyke with a good rebound. He certainly is. And who wants to guard him, especially if he turns to go down the lane?
Daniels misses, but tips it back in for his second basket of the night. And the Blazers are within 4. By the way, Brownlee's free throws were sponsored by our friends at Thor Industries. Braxton Miller. Now Skinny Rogers for 3. Rogers with his first 3 of the night. He has 5. Chargers desperately needed that to stem the tide. Oh, the bank is open in Elkhart on a Friday night. Donovan Johnson enjoying that 3-pointer. Braxton Miller's reverse layup is up and good. And suddenly somebody's taking the lid off the cylinder here at Northside. Chargers by 6 midway through the second. Reminder coming up at halftime. It's our Mary's Match halftime report featuring our TCU student athletes of the week. Daniels inside, draws the foul on Brandon Brooks, his second.
Kyle Sears telling his guy, you just got to go straight up.
Not only that, you're 6'5". Cameron Daniels is barely 6 foot. He's 5'9". Just stand.
Folks, financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement for our young athletes and what they receive from our coaches, teachers, and mentors. Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones, the proud sponsor of Elkhart football, for all of your investment needs, also Elkhart basketball. Call your local Elkhart Jones office. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Free throw sponsored by Thor Industries. Blazers down 5. DeArjon Lewis no good, but the rebound is needed. Demarion Anderson had a wide open shot at that one, couldn't get it to go. Luke Tyke saves the ball for Central. Here's Daniels. He got around Lewis, and a push-off foul called on DeArjon Lewis. That's his second.
And not the kind of foul you want as a head coach. You're away from the basket. You got to move your feet, get over there, and not play defense with your hands so much.
So Daniels will go to the line for one in the bonus. Free throw sponsored by Thor Industries. Cameron Daniels came into tonight, the 71% free throw shooter. Scored 12 in his varsity debut last year as a freshman. Misses the front end of the 1-and-1, but tight, no good. And the rebound to Lewis. Rogers at the other end, and a foul called here on Central.
Good opportunity for Central at the other end to cut that lead down to maybe even 2. And they come away with nothing, and Memorial pushes the issue and draws the foul.
So it'll be a 1 in the bonus. The foul called on Donovan Johnson, his first.
Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future, whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business. Teachers Credit Union is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. Federally insured by the NCUA, they are an equal housing opportunity lender.
That's Isaac Stewart checking in for Central. Demarion Anderson hits the first one at the line. His free throw sponsored by your Edward Jones Elkhart Advisors. Anderson had 13 points and 9 rebounds in his varsity debut on Tuesday night. Misses that one. Brownlee with the rebound. Blazers down 6. Daniels working on his former teammate Rogers. Now Chandler down the baseline, found Tyke. He failed the first 2 times, and he's fouled this time.
Well, Tyke really battling inside there.
You'll get another look from SBO. Good feed by Chandler. Tyke, remember, playing with 2 fouls, so maybe that's why he's a little reticent to go up as strong as he needs to, but he'll go to the foul line here where he's only a 43% free throw shooter. Free throw sponsored by Thor Industries.
Tough miss there. Scott Zekel got him back in the ballgame even though he had 2 fouls because he knew what a vital part of any success they're going to have tonight. He's got to get out of Tyke, and so Tyke now at the free throw line with another opportunity.
He's averaging 11 a game. That's his first point tonight. Central down 5. Blazers playing man-to-man. Something Zekel took from his Michigan State days. Skinny Rogers can't hit. One-hand rebound by Chandler. Brownlee going the other way. Finds Tyke, who goes up and gets the bucket in the bump.
Big-time pass there. Nice job by Brownlee. It's a little out of control, a little bit under the basket. Made the nice pass and set Tyke up really nice.
And the head and shoulder fake sent Demarion Anderson, the freshman, flying. His second foul. And Tyke, who seconds ago was scoreless, now another free throw sponsored by Thor Industries. He has 4. And the Blazers, who once trailed by 9, now trail by a deuce. Braxton Miller working on Tyke. Miller over Tyke, can't hit. Good rebound by Rogers, but he can't hit either. And the ball rebounded by Ty Windy. Central with a chance to tie or take the lead. Brownlee with the catch, Brownlee misses the layup. Ball out of bounds off Cameron Daniels.
Folks get back in the game with South Bend Orthopedics. Team physician for the University of Notre Dame since 1947.
When you go up against a body like Mark Brownlee's for a ball, chances are you're not going to fare well, as Braxton Miller just found out. Skinny Rogers, and he draws a foul on Mark Brownlee, and Brownlee having a word with Skinny right there at the foul line. That's the first on Brownlee, the second. And here's Skinny Rogers, the transfer from Elkhart Central at the line, 75% free throw shooter. Free throw sponsored by Edward Jones Elkhart Advisors. Rogers' given name is Titus, but he goes by Skinny, and there's a story behind it, Bob.
He looks a lot like me.
Well, no. He has an uncle who was a twin. One was called Skinny, the other was called Fat. This young man is a twin as well. So tradition being what it is in their family, he is skinny. His brother, no matter his stature, is fat.
Holy cow.
And Skinny hits them both. He has 7, but Charger lead is 4.
You're getting it all here on TV 46.
We spare no expense in the research department around here. Luke Tyke underneath to Chandler. Tyke for 3. He's got 7 in the quarter, and the Blazers are within 1. Rogers the other way, draws contact, and they'll call it on Daniels, I believe. Tyke hoping and praying it's not on him.
Folks, the owners and staff of the Vine would like to wish the teams in tonight's game all the best. Vine is your frequent destination for casual lunch or special dinner occasion, located in downtown Elkhart. Remember the Vine for your holiday parties and other gatherings. Make the Vine your downtown Elkhart location for fine dining destination every weekend. For information and reservations, call 574-970-5005. No, that's 5006.
So Skinny Rogers, 3 out of 3 at the line so far tonight, but not on that one. And the rebound to Cameron Daniels. Daniels working against the double team. Tight for 3. Short, but Daniels gets the offensive rebound. Can't get it to go. One more try, no good. Now it's Donovan Johnson with it. Chandler for 3.
Wow.
Blazers can't say they didn't have their chances, and now a wide open area for LaShawn Brown to score.
That's a big moment in this ball game. Memorial takes advantage of the misses.
Underneath it goes for the basket for Central. That's scored by Akita Walker. Central back within 2. Skinny Rogers. Did he travel? Yes, he did. Central will have the last shot of the half.
Folks, while you're cheering on your favorite team from the stands, know that Thor Industries is your biggest fan, as the Elkhart RV manufacturer, biggest in the world.
Donovan Johnson with the layup, and at the end of one half, we're tied at Northside Gym.
Those guys had no regard for the fact that I was reading a commercial, did they?
Not at all. 30-30 the score as the two teams get ready to go off the court here at halftime. Scott Seckel having the word with the officials. Now he'll have one with Bo Hunt for Bill's hitting sideline report.
Scott, Luke picked up his second foul. At that point, you guys were down by 7 at that point. What changed from that point forward? Because you guys seem to play better after that.
You know, it's so hard. These kids are so excited, and they don't want to execute, and they don't want to do what we do best. They want to kind of do the individuality, everything else. And so once we slow down and toughen up and play D and get rebounds and box out, instead of get caught up in all the emotion, we catch back up. It's a good thing.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, Bo, stick around, everybody. We've got two outstanding student athletes to feature in our TCU student athletes. The threes have been dropping at Northside Gym, and threes are on the scoreboard as well. 30-30 at the half on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, 6 for 30 years. Back at Northside Gym in Elkhart, Chuck Regan and Bob Nagel with you, a 30-30 tie. And fluidity, it is certainly made up for in community.
And there was a session there in the second quarter, Chuck, about 3 or 4 minutes where both teams played really well, and the crowd got into it, and it was that electric emotion that we thought we would see tonight, and it certainly has come to fruition here. You mentioned 30 years with the IHSAA. We got a 30-30 score. It's like somebody's writing a script for it. But what both teams need to do is, as Coach Seckles said going into halftime, both teams need to settle down, play within their system and what they're trying to do. And I thought Central had many more good looks in the first half that didn't go down.
Right.
And so if they can just settle down and take it easy, make it work.
Well, let's show you how it got to be this way here at legendary Northside Gym as we look at our halftime highlights. The Isaiah Chandler Jam certainly got this thing going well, and then Mark Brownlee with a steal and score. He had a very solid first half with 7 points. But Memorial would turn it up a notch. Yarjan Lewis underneath to Demarion Anderson. The freshman got the bucket and the bump. And then Lewis with the steal and score. Both of those players had 5 points in the first half. And then the Blazers would start to make a run. Nice move there. Finds Brownlee on the baseline for 2. He had 7 points, most of them in the second quarter. Skinny Rogers led the Chargers with 8. But then Central started to find the range on the outside. Donovan Johnson banked in a three-pointer. Luke Tyke had a very strong second quarter with 7 points, hitting that 3. And the Blazers would get that basket from Donovan Johnson at the end of the first half to tie it up at 30 points apiece. We are just about ready for second half play-by-play for you from Northside Gym. When we come back, we'll hear from Bo Hunt with the Bills Heating Sideline Report. That's next on the Mary's Match. Be the Match halftime report on TV 46. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Let's go downstairs for a Bills Heating Sideline Report before the second half gets underway. Bo Hunt, you talked to Kyle Sears. What do you have to say at the half?
I got to talk to him. He said, first thing, we got to stop hacking on the inside. He goes, we just got in foul trouble, and we can't do that. The other thing is that offensive boards for Central was just killing them. They got to find their man, get body on him, and box up. They're just getting too many offensive boards. And I asked him about Brownlee on the inside. He's had a lot of easy buckets on the inside. What do they do to defend that? He goes, again, we just got to match up. We're not finding our guys on the fast breaks, and we're letting guys get loose. And he's very quick, and he's going to get down the floor. Guys?
Third quarter tonight brought to us by our friends at 4T Door Systems. They also sponsor our Facebook and live stream on YouTube tonight. Elkhart Memorial begins the second half with the basketball. Yarjan Lewis finds Malachi Evans. Tried to go down low to Brandon Brooks, and it's knocked away by Cameron Daniels of Central.
Keep an eye on Luke Tyke here in the second half. His story was really so important in the first half. He got in foul trouble early, and he came back and really opened it up offensively.
Emmons can't hit on that end. And Central with a chance to take the lead here early in the second half as Cameron Daniels gathered in the rebound. Central making an adjustment to Memorial, overplaying those passing lanes. Daniels had a three, but passed it up. And now Windy throws it away. DeArjon Lewis did overplay the passing lane, couldn't hit the layup, but Skinny Rogers gets the rebound. It was a rough sequence for Windy, who made a bad pass and then didn't box out Rogers on the other end. Chandler gets past Lewis, but the shot blocked by Brooks. Here comes Rogers and the Chargers the other way. Underneath to Brandon Brooks. Now the three on the way, but Emmons can't hit. Brooks, the offensive putback, no good. And a tie-up on the held ball. It'll go on the alternating possession to Elkhart Central.
Official's got his hand in the air, but we're going to call a foul here, Chuck.
Okay.
I thought it looked like a jump ball.
Instead, a foul called on Elkhart Central. They're going to call it on Cameron Daniels, and that's his third. Donovan Johnson checks in to take the place of Ty Windy. Down low they go to Brooks. Brooks over Chandler, can't hit. Tyke with the rebound. Long lead pass. Daniels tried to throw it through 5 red jerseys, and that didn't work real well. Lewis airballs the three, but Rogers picks up the loose change and loses the handle.
Nice defensive play there by Elkhart Central's Cameron Daniels.
Meanwhile, Johnson misses the left-hand layup. Chargers on the run. Emmons all the way and ran his man over.
Similar to what we saw early in the ball game, Chuck. They're making some mistakes, forcing the issue a little bit too much, looking for that patience.
Cameron Daniels stood right in there and took the charge. 2 minutes into the third quarter, and another slow offensive start to a stanza. Daniels was blocked, but a foul was called on the way up.
Ball was blocked pretty clean, but there was contact from the other side.
They'll call it on Skinny Rogers. That's the first on him, and Cameron Daniels will go to the line for free throws. Sponsored by Edward Jones Elkhart Advisors.
Folks, while you're cheering on your favorite team from the stands, know that Thor Industries is your biggest fan, and as the largest RV manufacturer in the world with 15 Thor companies in northern Indiana, we have a spot for you on our starting lineup. Visit ThorIndustries.com to get started.
Daniels hits the first. Cameron now 2 out of 4 at the foul line tonight. And hits them both. Tied at 32. While the men were standing there at the foul line, Mr. Brownlee and Mr. Emmons got a talking to from the officials. Here's Miller for 3. That's short. Tyke with the rebound for Central. Daniels to Brownlee. Nice catch in traffic. Got the foul on the way up by Malachi Emmons.
Brownlee so strong. He's being fouled pretty handily and still managed to get the ball up on the rim.
Well, for Malachi Evans, that's his 4th. And Brownlee will go to the line taking free throws sponsored by your Edward Jones Elkhart Advisors. And Mark 1 out of 3 at the stripe tonight. Memorial gets Demarian Anderson back in there for Malachi Evans.
St. Andrews Products has joined our team with the finest in promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and apparel. Give them a call at 800-628-9922 or visit them on their email address at sales@standrewscorp.com.
Rogers all the way for 2.
Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
Daniels underneath to Chandler. Chandler has it go off his leg and out of bounds. Central will stay with that man-to-man defense. Rogers working on Brownlee. Rogers going baseline. He's lucky to get that ball to DeArjon Lewis, and Lewis draws the contact from Cameron Daniels. Scott Seckel can't believe it in front of the Blazer bench.
Chuck, one of the things about both teams, especially Memorial, that I'm seeing here tonight is the fact that everybody's eager to put the ball on the floor and dribble. Sometimes, you don't want to give up your dribble. You got to pass the ball, keep it moving. You can pass it faster than you can dribble it. So we'll see if they settle down here.
This is a big blow for Central. Their star point guard, Cameron Daniels, goes to the bench with 4 fouls. Ty Windy comes in. Brooks immediately goes up, can't hit. Now Skinny Rogers with the left misses, and the ball out of bounds to Central.
The owners and staff of the Vine would like to wish the teams well tonight. In tonight's game, the Vine is your frequent destination for casual lunch or special dinner occasions located in downtown Elkhart. From delicious steaks and seafood to specialty dishes created by Chef Cappy, make the Vine in downtown Elkhart your dining destination this weekend. For information and reservations, call them at 574-970-5006. The Vine did a great job feeding our crew tonight. Chuck can attest to that.
Absolutely. Braxton Miller called for the push-off outside. His second. Chargers racking up 4 fouls here in the first 3.5 minutes of the second half.
Divine's food was great, but boy, Kyle Sears' wife made some great chocolate chip cookies. They're all gone, Chuck. Okay, there's 4 left, but
I was going to say, if they're all gone, I'm checking on the sideline reporter because he's probably got a full belly. Rodney Gates checks into the game for Elkhart Memorial. I'm not trying to point any fingers, but Johnson on the baseline misses. Brownlee couldn't come up with the carom. Here comes Memorial the other way.
Looks like Rogers might have got a piece of that ball on the way up.
DeArjon Lewis calls out the play for Memorial. Rogers with the left hand up and under, and Tyke is called for the foul. That would be his third.
For 60 years, Imagineering Finishing Technologies has been the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. They set the standard for industries including automotive, medical, aerospace, military, and defense. Go to IFT Worldwide for more information. IFT has gained national accreditation and worldwide respect. Like the teams in tonight's game, they work toward a great finish.
Skinny Rogers, 4 out of 5 at the line tonight. He and Cameron Daniels were teammates on a 3-on-3 team that won the 4-H Fair title a couple of years ago. And Rogers nets them both. He has 14 to lead Memorial. Trying to bite the hand that once fed him. He's up by 4. Chandler finds Windy. Armand Hurt in the game now. Brownlee underneath off a great feed and couldn't get it to go. Both teams tonight short-arming a lot of shots. Lewis did not short-arm that 3, and the Chargers are up by 7, and Scott Seckel wants a timeout. It's sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. They're going gaga over the Crimson and Gold. They lead 39-32 on 46. This edition of the TV 40.
Chuck, the foul situation certainly has hit Elkhart. And having to play without Cameron Daniels is tough, but Matt Whitty was in the starting lineup. It's time for somebody to step up. much like Tyke did for his team in the first half. And if Windy can step up, his biggest issue might be defending, but also scoring. That's something he can do, and he can't hit the three, so he's got to get busy.
Central down by 7 here. The Blazers trying to avoid an 0-3 start. The inbound pass comes to Isaiah Chandler. He gets double teamed. Lucky to come away with the ball, and then a foul called on Memorial.
Chandler was double teamed a lot on the football field this year. Outstanding receiver. What a great year Elkhart Central had.
Foul called on Rodney Gates as you look at Scott Seckel on the sidelines for Elkhart Central. Chandler, this time fouled by Skinny Rogers. That's 6 already on Memorial, so everything else is shooting free throws the rest of the game.
Kyle Sears on there holding up that elbow, saying as he's driving, he's also pushing off. Unless Kyle gets some white stripes to go with that black shirt, it's not going to matter.
Ty Windy's 3 off the mark. The rebound corralled by Central. Akita Walker with the basketball. Brownlee outside. And a holding foul now called. That's on Memorial, and the Blazers will go to the line.
Anderson guilty of the personal foul.
That's his 3rd.
Chuck had a chance to talk to Matt Windy, former basketball coach here at Elkhart Central before the game. He was telling me about his dad going into the Hall of Fame in Illinois, and he played football at the University of Illinois. Had a great career there before an injury sidelined in his senior year, but Hall of Famer nonetheless. Congratulations, Grandpa Windy.
Meanwhile, at the foul line, Akita Walker misses. The free throw sponsored by your Elkhart Edward Jones Advisors. Skinny Rogers kicks it outside. Rodney Gates. Now Rogers again. Dipsy-do won't go. Akita Walker the rebound. Blazers want to run. They've got numbers. Chandler all the way. Missed the layup.
They've missed a bunch of those tonight.
Gates is blocked by Walker, but the foul is called underneath.
Walker was not a starter tonight for Elkhart Central, but has played well and really active on the boards especially.
Ty Windy called for the foul. Rodney Gates, the freshman, will go to the line for the first time in his varsity career. The free throw is sponsored by Thor Industries.
Rodney played quite a bit of time in the JV game earlier tonight, which was tied late in the ball game, and an outstanding finish in that game.
Rodney, a wide receiver on the football team this year. His dad played at Elkhart Memorial back in the 80s. That's the first varsity point in Rodney's career. It's 40-32, Memorial by 8. Their biggest lead was 9 back in the first half. And you can really see the difference in the way this Blazer offense moves when Cameron Daniels is on the bench. Tyke finds Donovan Johnson for 3. Much needed for the Blazers.
Big bucket. Brooks had the rebound and tried to head out of there. And one thing about being 6'5", you can rebound. It's tough to dribble the ball in traffic.
Now Darjon Lewis answers at the other end. He's had 2 big threes in the third. 11 points for Lewis.
Scott Seckel thought he pushed off to get open.
Chandler high off the glass. Isaiah with 6 tonight. Central hanging around despite that real cold spurt in the middle of this quarter. But right now, Lewis is on fire. He misses that one. Good job by Johnson to kick out the rebound to Brownlee, who gets the bucket in the bump.
And again, the strength of that young man when he goes in toward the basket. If he gets within 6 or 8 feet of the basket, you might be better off just letting him go because you're not going to win that battle.
Call the foul on Demarion Anderson. He is the second Charger with 4 fouls. Kyle Sears will go to his bench and send in LaShawn Brown.
Coach Seckel hasn't been too happy about it much in the way of officials' calls in the last few minutes. Jimmy Arnett trying to settle him down now.
Meanwhile, Mark Brownlee's free throw, sponsored by your Elkhart Edward Jones Advisors, is off the mark. The Blazers have not been good at the foul line tonight.
I say, Chuck, they don't have to shoot 80% from the line. If they're shooting 65%, we'd be tied.
They came into this game shooting less than 50% as a team.
Yeah, baskets are higher these days, and the lane's longer, and the rim is smaller. Yeah, it is. Just got to work at it.
A minute to go, third quarter. Lewis around a couple screens. Now LaShawn Brown will give it back to Yarjan. Isaac Stewart draws the defensive assignment. And Lewis can't hit. Chandler comes away with the rebound. Kyle Sears wanted to travel. Instead, there's another foul called on Memorial.
Folks, think Pyramid Equipment for your snowplow needs. Sales, services, and installations of residential and commercial grade snowplows, parts, and salt spreaders. Pyramid offers military, police, and firemen's discounts. Find us at Pyramid Equipment Inc. That's PyramidEquipmentInc.com.
LaShawn Brown called for the foul. Braxton Miller will come back in. Isaiah Chandler will go to the line for the first time tonight. He's a 67% free throw shooter. Chandler with a career-high 10 on Tuesday against Goshen, and he misses the free throw. And now call a foul on Mark Brownlee.
Really tough. You're missing free throws, and coaches have a lot of different ways to teach the importance of shooting free throws, and I'm sure that Coach Seckel has some plans in that area.
Central 5 of 12 from the line tonight. LaShawn Brown on the crossover, loses the basketball, gets it back. And Kyle Sears, did he call a timeout? It looks like he did. It's sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. 14 and a half seconds left in the third. Chargers by 4 on 46. .46 high school basketball game of the week being brought to you by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Chuck, Bob, and Bo with you from Northside Gym at Elkhart. 14 and a half seconds left in this very exciting third quarter. The Blazer cheer section all fired up for this one. Some of
really tough defense right here.
Darjon Lewis can't. The rebound kicked around, and what's called a held ball on the alternating possession. It goes to Central with 2.9 left. Scott Seckel have a play here. Let's see. And he's going to call a timeout as well. It's sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe, and we'll keep it right here.
It takes about 3 or 4 seconds to get down the floor if you dribble it all the way down. So if you can get a good pass to half court, you might be available for another quick pass and get a shot. Folks, the team at Sanders and Pianowski, professional service to their clients is their first and compelling priority. The firm of Sanders and Pianowski want to take time to wish both teams well in tonight's game. Serving the Elkhart community for decades and decades yet to come, Sanders and Pianowski on the Riverwalk in downtown Elkhart.
We're so excited about the start of high school basketball season. We're bringing you a Wednesday night special this week. Riley and St. Joe, two of the great juniors being recruited in South Bend. Blake Wesley at Riley, J.R. Konechny at St. Joe. They go head-to-head at Alumni Gym. That game being played Tuesday night. We'll live stream it on YouTube and Facebook and show it on TV 46 Wednesday night at 6. Chandler, long pass, caught by Johnson. He traveled.
Oh, what a good pass and a good catch, but couldn't get his feet squared up to get a shot, and that's going to be it. The officials, I think, if we had a chance to look at the clock, there might be 0.2 seconds left to go, but it's the end of the quarter.
Well, we're going to call it a quarter as the three-pointers rained here in the third quarter, and Memorial goes to the fourth, leading by 4 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to us by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. Well, we've got a little pause here before the start of the fourth quarter because we actually have to wrap up the third. After a long discussion, we have put 1.8 seconds on the clock here to begin.
Yeah, and I think the clock was gone for sure.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Arnett trying to get that worked out. I think I'm not going to speculate how they ran the clock, but
Poorly.
It just went right over to the 8-minute mark. Gives us a chance to tell you about the finest and casual dining. Look no further than the Bristol Street Cafe, located at 500 West Bristol Street here in Elkhart, serving outstanding hearty breakfast and daily lunch specials until 2 p.m. The Bristol Street Cafe is a proud sponsor of Elkhart High School athletics.
Well, currently the clock says 1.2. Let's see where they're going to now have Memorial inbound the ball from. This is starting to look like the Russians against the U.S. in the 72 Olympics.
Now the Central won
And Jimmy Arnett has just issued a bench warning to Elkhart Central Scott Seckel.
Well, he's earned that. He's been up quite a bit here in the second half.
Meanwhile, officials intervening out on the court as the Blazers get ready to defend the Chargers. Let's see if we can finally chisel the last 1.2. Darjon Lewis, and he is fouled by Isaac Stewart. It'll be 3 shots at the line for Lewis.
And Stewart just checked into the lineup, and I think that head coach Scott Seckel was saying, I'm going to put you in. You've got plenty of fouls to give. If nothing else, see if you can block and draw a foul. But what a tough situation here for Central at the end of the third quarter.
Could have been trailing by as little as 4. Now, they could be down by as many as 7. Lewis is 0 for 1 at the line this season. His free throw sponsored by Thor Industries.
And the officials had to get the score keepers to turn off the orange light around the backboard indicating the end of the quarter. That's what we thought about 5 minutes ago.
Lewis hits the first. He has 12 points tonight. Third-year varsity player. He scored 12 against the Blazers in the game last year. Make it 13 now for Darjon. Really taking full advantage of a bad foul by Elkhart Central.
Well, 7-point lead.
Couldn't get that one to go, so the Chargers up by 6 as we get ready to the fourth. Let's go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. Bo Hunt has a special guest.
Guys, I'm standing by with the new football coach next year and reigning Elkhart Central, but new Elkhart High School football coach, Josh Shattuck. Josh, first off, congratulations.
Hey, thanks, Bo. I appreciate it. Really exciting.
What process are you in now? You know, we talked a little bit of, visiting schools and stuff like that, some that you were off limits to before.
Yeah, it's very interesting now. The whole district kind of opens up. Well, it does open up. It's a big school district, 14 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and now 1 big high school. And so, I was at Westside Middle School today, and I've never been in the building before. It was viewed as would have been an IHSA violation for me to even go in there. So now those are our players, and Northside Middle School, all the players there are for Elkhart High. And so that process of the relationship building begins. And then obviously the biggest one with the kids at Elkhart Memorial merging with the kids at Elkhart Central and just building those relationships.
Not only do you have to do that, but you have to build a coaching staff now as well. What kind of process are you in with that?
Well, we emailed. I emailed. There are 28 coaches on staff in the school system in grades 7 through 12. And I emailed all of them a very basic kind of vanilla email and said, let me know if you're interested. And from there, gone through kind of interviews and sitting down talking with people and, very just informal conversations to try to get to know the coaches as well. Try to build the best possible staff we can for the kids in Elkhart.
What are you most excited about?
Oh, gee, I'm personally just excited to be able to stay here in Elkhart. We love it here, but from a football perspective, it's just it's a football town. I mean, there's people who like football here. They love football. They're passionate about it. They support it, and we feel like we've got a head start on it, having been here for 3 years. And then this is just a big boost for us to be able to combine schools and pool all of our resources together.
It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Hey, thanks, Bo. You too.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you both. Thank you, Josh.
Josh is going to try to get a 5th year, I think, for a certain running back.
Mark Brownlee headed to Ball State next year. Foul called on Rodney Gates, and it's a 2-shot foul now as Memorial has gone over the 2-shot limit. Mark Brownlee will go to the line, and this has been a problem point for Brownlee tonight. He is 1 out of 5 at the stripe, make it 1 out of 6.
7.5 to go. 8-point ball game. Every point you can get. Absolutely crucial right here.
And Brownlee missed them both. Plus, we have an over-the-back foul on Elkhart Central. It's on Luke Tyke. That's his 4th.
Did a good job of avoiding foul 3, but now 3 and 4 come pretty close together. Not sure if you're down by 8 points, you could afford to take Tyke out of there. You really got to keep him in there.
The Blazers, as we mentioned, at the stripe tonight. Well, they've been abysmal. 5 out of 14 now. Meanwhile, it's Brandon Brooks going to the line from Memorial. Free throw sponsored by Thor Industries. Brooks, a 67% foul shooter on the line. He got that one to go. Chargers could have their biggest lead of the night if Brooks can hit this one. Just 3 points on the night for the big fella after 14 on Tuesday. With a double-figure lead here in the 4th.
Biggest of the ball game.
Cameron Daniels in there playing with 4 fouls. Tyke has 4 fouls. He's in the game now, too.
Similar to what happened the other night against Goshen, Chuck. There was times when they played well in the ball game, and Goshen did a great job down the stretch.
Chandler spinning and couldn't get it to drop. You mentioned earlier, Bob, shot selection for the Blazers has not been the problem. They're not forcing shots. They're just not hitting shots. Meanwhile, DeArjan Lewis fails, and Ty Windy with the rebound.
Arjan will find out that maybe we don't need to be shooting a 3 when we're up by 10.
Inside to Tyke. Good hands, head and shoulder fake, bucket and bump. Textbook work that time by Tyke.
He was able to maneuver his way around Brooks. And Brooks showing a little bit of that inexperience that you would have, having not played last year. But he's doing a good job in there. I'm pretty impressed with what Brooks has done.
Tyke 1 for 2 at the stripe tonight, looking for his 10th point of the ball game. Can't get it. Rebound by Brooks, and he travels. Well, we mentioned the scoring woes for Elkhart Central. They have 41 tonight. That's their highest total of the year. And their last 2 teams have scored less than 50 points per game. Meanwhile, Elkhart Memorial has never had a team average less than 50 points per game. Here's Daniels for 3 in the corner. That's off the mark. Miller the rebound.
Central really needs to find somebody that can get the hot hand. Tyke did that in the second quarter. They need that similar effort right now.
Gates for 3 misses. The rebound to Tyke. Tyke, a great pass to Brownlee, and he gets the layup.
Wow.
11 points for Brownlee tonight. Blazers hanging around, down 6. Brooks backing his way in on Tyke. Gates missed. Brooks blocked by Chandler, and a whistle. Did they call a foul on Chandler?
I believe that is the call, Chuck.
Boy, there's an official right underneath the basket who did not make the call, and the one over on the side did, and you're going to get another look from SBO, and you get a chance to make the call here. I'll tell you what, the official who had the call over on the side, no way he saw a foul there. Here's Brandon Brooks at the line. Free throw sponsored by Thor Industries.
As they hit the magic 50-point mark.
But a huge difference in this game has been execution at the foul line, although Brooks misses that one. He stepped over the line anyway.
Gives us a chance to tell you about Thor Industries. They love this time of year because team pride is on full display. The team culture from Northside Gym extends to our Thor Industries team. Build your future right here in Elkhart with one of Thor's excellent career opportunities. Get started today at thorindustries.com.
Isaiah Chandler kind of running this team from the point right now. Brownlee sets a screen, and that lets Johnson go down the lane, but he missed the scoop layup. At the other end, Miller for 3. That won't go. Miller for 2. That won't go. And it's out of bounds off Memorial.
Everybody keeps getting too close to the basket. Been a tough one.
I mentioned earlier, a lot of guys on both sides tonight, short-arming shots. It looks like you going to the restaurant to pick up the check.
I'll be glad to buy. Might have to go to the Vine.
Brownlee has it knocked away by Miller, and then Brownlee is called for the foul.
Well, still a little bit of that transition from football to basketball, I think, for Brownlee and some of the other area athletes. But it's almost like he fumbled the ball, and what do you do when you fumble? You reach out and try to get it back, and he drew the foul right there. So more free throw opportunities for Memorial while we tell you about our good buddies from the Vine. We've got our crew tonight, did a great job with that. And the owners and staff of the Vine would like to wish the teams in tonight's game all the best. The Vine is your frequent destination for casual lunch or special dinner occasion located in downtown Elkhart. Remember, the Vine for your holiday parties and office gatherings. Make the Vine in downtown Elkhart your dining destination this weekend. For information or reservation, call them at 574-970-5006.
Skinny Rogers free throw sponsored by Thor Industries. He makes them both. He leads all scorers tonight with 16 points. Chargers back up by 9. Blazers have had opportunities to get back in it, and Chandler tried to take another one here as he goes all the way in for his 8th point of the night. Rogers for 3. That's off the mark. Chandler the rebound.
Watching this barrage of three-pointers by Memorial for no apparent reason.
Meanwhile, Daniels fouled, and the clock will stop. And if the Blazers can hit some free throws, they can get back in it, but they haven't done a very good job of it tonight.
Chuck, if the Blue Blazers had the lead and were trying to be patient and getting fouled and going to the line and not making them, you could understand it. Memorial's made their free throws tonight. So if they're patient and force Central to maybe come out and foul a little bit more, they would have control. You shoot a 3 early in a possession, you're giving Central an opportunity.
Daniels makes both. It's down to a 5-point game with 4:28 to go. DeArjon Lewis working over Tyke. Tyke couldn't foul. It would have been his 5th. Lewis now with 17.
Did a nice job of clearing out right there for the one-on-one opportunity. And Tyke, as you said, in that situation, couldn't do much defensively.
Rogers knocks the ball out of bounds from Memorial. Walker is blocked by Brooks. Lewis so tempted to pull the trigger, now does and misses. And the rebound to Walker.
Well, that name Lewis has been magic in this arena over the years.
Walter Lewis, a standout for Steve Johnson teams in the 1980s here at Elkhart Memorial. Cameron Daniels calls out the play. Needs Akita Walker in a different spot. Daniels weaves his way through traffic for two. Used the screens beautifully.
Need a couple of stops here for Elkhart Central, but Memorial doing a good job of getting to the hoop, making their free throws.
Rogers leaves it for Lewis.
Good basketball.
Teardrop jumper by Diarjan. He's got 19. New career high for Diarjan Lewis.
7-point game with 3 minutes to go.
Daniels, stop and pop, and got it to drop.
Turned into a cheerleader down there under the baseline, but what a strong effort to get that off the glass and in and have a chance at a free throw. And he has had an outstanding game tonight, helping to lead his ball club. And Daniels, just a sophomore. Imagine where he's going to be a couple more years.
Free throw sponsored by your Edward Jones Elkhart Advisors. That one won't go. Chargers push it up the floor, and it's blocked by Chandler. Out of bounds, off Tyke. It'll be Memorial ball.
Couple of hands up there blocking that shot. Couldn't control like a goalie. You can't control the rebound.
Lewis misses, and Tyke with the rebound. Memorial's like Sandra Bullock in speed. They can't take their foot off the gas. And Donovan Johnson makes them pay, and this is a 2-point ball game, kids. Johnson with 11 off the bench. Malachi Evans with the finger roll. Puts Memorial back up by 4.
Well, the place is jumping, isn't it?
58-54, Elkhart Memorial. Cameron Daniels trying to figure out where he's going to go. Now needs help. Chandler rescued him. Got away with a push off there. Donovan Johnson again. That time it's an air ball. And Tyke winds up going down hard on the bleachers trying to save that one.
He had no ticket, and he threw him out. Get back on the floor.
The cheerleaders were smart enough to clear out of the way.
Well, that was our student athlete of the week, Ellie Dobson, among the group down there for Elkhart Central.
Now, let's see if the Chargers exercise a little bit of patience here. Nope. And the ball knocked out of bounds by Brownlee. It'll stay with Memorial.
They do want to stay aggressive, don't they?
Skinny Rogers, Diarjan Lewis. Lewis playing his best game ever in a Memorial uniform. Mark Brownlee just got his 5th foul.
Well, while we wait for a substitution, we'll tell you that financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Edward Jones Financial Advisors understands this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Elkhart basketball and football. For all of your investment needs, call your local Edward Jones office. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Akita Walker will check in for Mark Brownlee, who leaves with 11 points. 4th quarter tonight, sponsored by 4T Door Systems. And it'll send Diarjan Lewis to the line once again.
Mark Brownlee played a terrific ball game tonight.
Lewis hits the first. He has 20. As you look at the dejection on the face of Mark Brownlee.
Even if Lewis makes this one, it's a two-possession game.
And he does. Here's Cameron Daniels coming the other way. He gets the layup. Daniels now with 15 to lead the Blazers, but they're still down by 4. Really have to ratchet up the pressure here. And do they have anybody who can guard DeArjon Lewis? Chandler gets beat off the dribble here, but comes back to get the block. Lewis for 3. Wow. And then the ball knocked out of bounds by DeMarion Anderson. DeArjon Lewis with 24, and he is feeling it. Here's another look from SBO, the kick out off the rebound. And Kyle Sears thinking, no, okay. Meanwhile, offensive foul called against Elkhart Central.
Tough way for Central to end up the ball game here as got some commotion going on here at Northside Gym.
Well, there's a little fracas going on in the stands, and the Elkhart police have intervened up in the upper balconies.
Doing a good job of reminding the fans that they're all going to be on the same side next year.
Meanwhile, the action on the floor continues with 46.6 seconds left.
7-point ball game. We've seen stranger things than this happen, but
well, it requires the clock to stop for Elkhart Central. We've got a
well, we thought we were going to have a timeout, but Memorial with a basketball.
Now the officials blow a horn. There were 5 fouls called against somebody. It was
Tyke.
The 5th foul on Luke Tyke. And so he's got to come out of the game. And they put Armand Hurt back in.
Tyke could have been one of the rare players to get 6 fouls. That gives Scott Tuckle a chance to talk to Jimmy Arnett a little bit more about some of the calls tonight. That's not Jimmy Arnett, but
now the officials getting in between the players down on the court. Memorial will inbounds with 46.6 seconds left and a 7-point lead. DeArjon Lewis being guarded by Donovan Johnson. And a foul called on Donovan Johnson, his second. And that'll send Lewis back to the stripe.
Well, you don't want to put Lewis at the stripe, but you got to do something. You're down to 41 seconds to go in a ball game that was really close just a minute and a half ago.
These will be 2-shot fouls now the rest of the way for both teams.
Coach Seckel got to be happy with the point output for his ball club tonight. But again, the defense and you think about the missed free throws tonight for Central would have had them in the lead maybe by a half dozen at different points of the fourth quarter.
Meanwhile, that's been a strength for DeArjon Lewis tonight. 6 out of 7, make it 7 out of 8. And he has a career-high 26. More than likely talking to Mr. Hunt on our post-game show. Another steal for Memorial, and that should just about do it. Malachi Emmons. Now they feed Braxton Miller, and Kyle Sears wants a timeout. We will take it as well. It's sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. 26.8 left before the Longfellow Trophy stays on California Road. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for 30 years. Chuck Creevy, Bob Nagel, Bo Hunt back with you at Northside Gym in Elkhart. As though that were not evident by the signage there, the Blazer cheerleaders, the Memorial Alumni Band playing Conquest, and the skin on every Notre Dame fan here in the stadium just started crawling. But it will be a conquest for the Chargers tonight. They're just 27 seconds away from victory.
And Elkhart Central are going to go to 3 on the campaign, which is going to be a little bit of a strange start for them in that they played hard and they have gotten some good looks. You just, again, don't need a better game plan. Just got to execute, and then you got to. They've missed as many free throws as they have layups tonight, so it's been a really tough situation for Central that way. But they got to keep believing in themselves and their head coach, and just get better as the season goes along. I like their potential.
Reminder, we've got Big Ten basketball on the radio on Saturday afternoon on Pulse FM. Indiana begins the Big Ten season with its first road game of the year. Yeah, hey, there they go to Wisconsin and take on the Badgers. Don Fisher with the call Saturday at 1 on 103.1 FM. Pulse FM, your home for IU and Purdue basketball.
And both of them with potentially really great seasons ahead, and gotten off to a good start.
Braxton Miller triggers the inbound pass. Anderson up, no good. The rebound comes to Armand Hurt, and the Blazers will try to hustle down the floor, trailing by 9. Chandler nearly threw it away, and it was knocked out of bounds by Malachi Evans.
Kept it alive with a little bit of a volleyball move there, but unable to finish, and it'll be Central ball. Central with 15 seconds left to go and down 9.
Central will fall to 0-3. They take on South Bend John Adams on Tuesday night as Johnson pulls the trigger on a 2 and misses. Memorial will get it down the court for an easy layup for Skinny Rogers. He has 18, and the Chargers will be 2-0, taking on Mishawaka on Tuesday night. Cameron Daniels misses the dunk, and it's all over at Northside Gym. Elkhart Memorial has won the Longfellow Trophy with a 67-56 win over Elkhart Central. When we come back, we'll have all of our post-game activities, including our electrifying play of the game and our IU South Bend fulfilling the promise player of the game. It's next on 46.
Standing by with our player of the game, De'Arjon Lewis. First off, 26 points tonight, career high. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, thank you.
What does it mean? This is the third year you played in this matchup. What does this game mean to you guys?
Man, it means a lot to us, man, to come out here and perform in front of a crowd like this and execute the coach's game plan to come out with the dub. Man, well, our guys wanted this tonight, and that's what we came out here and got, and I'm proud of my boys.
I see a lot of emotion out there going towards the end of the game, just yelling, screaming. It's just, I can feel the emotion inside of you.
Yeah, I really wanted this game, you know. It's a last Central Memorial basketball game, and, you know, we really wanted to come out top. And, you know, I'm just really proud of the way we performed. And those 26 points, those are due to my teammates. They got me open. They got me the shots all night. And I just thank them for my performance.
They tied it at halftime 30-30. What was the difference in the second half? What did Coach talk about?
We went in the locker room, we fixed it, and we focused up. We know we had to come out here and execute. We did it, and that's what ultimately led us to the victory.
Congratulations on being our player of the game.
Thank you.
Back to you guys. does this game mean to you guys?
Man, it means a lot to us, man, to come out here and perform in front of a crowd like
Watching the WHME TV 46 high. Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by
The Memorial Crimson Chargers are now 2-0 on the season, but what score would indicate, because the Blazers were only trailing by about 4 with 1:15 left, just couldn't get over the hump.
Well, and give the credit to Elkhart Memorial. They were able to get that one-on-one matchup when Tyke had the 3 fouls and then 4 fouls. They really couldn't stop the penetration and the finish. And Elkhart Memorial made the free throws. Elkhart Central did not. There's some things that the coaches don't really control on the floor, but they can control it in practice, and they'll work on that. But the energy was great, and this crowd was electric, and it was great to be back. If this is your first game back in a while, it was great to be back here. And want to give a shout out to our teammate Tommy Ward, who is also back with us tonight, running our audio and doing a great job. It's great to have the old team back together.
You're back, Tom Ward's back, and the guy that was back for Elkhart Memorial on the floor, who had 26 points tonight, is standing by now with Bo Hunt. D'Arjon Lewis is our IU South Bend fulfilling the promise player of the game.
Standing by with our player of the game, D'Arjon Lewis. First off, 26 points tonight, career high. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
What does it mean? This is the third year you play in this matchup. What does this game mean to you guys?
Man, it means a lot to us, man, to come out here and perform in front of a crowd like this and execute the coach's game plan to come out with the dub. Man, well, our guys wanted this tonight, and that's what we came out here and got, and I'm proud of my boys.
I see a lot of emotion out there going towards the end of the game, just yelling, screaming. It's just, I can feel the emotion inside of you.
Yeah, I really wanted this game, you know. It's a last-ditch Memorial basketball game, and, you know, we really wanted to come out top. And, you know, I'm just really proud of the way we performed, and those 26 points, those are due to my teammates. They got me open. They got me the shots all night, and I just thank them for my performance.
They tied it at halftime 30-30. What was the difference in the second half? What did Coach talk about?
We went in the locker room, we fixed it, and we focused up. We know we had to come out here and execute. We did it, and that's what ultimately led us to the victory.
Congratulations for being our player of the game.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Bo. And D'Arjon Lewis also responsible for our electrifying play of the game. Bob, you'd been critical of Elkhart Memorial for taking threes down the stretch. Here they were with that 4-point lead, taking a three down the stretch, but it was D'Arjon Lewis who found the bottom of the net.
It's not bad if you make them. I'm just saying strategy-wise, you might want to run some clock, but they fed the ball out, and Lewis is feeling it tonight. And what I loved is when he made it, he turned around to the fans from Elkhart Memorial right there. Like, yes! And he knocked it down. So an electric night for Memorial. They're off to a great start at 2-0. And we want to thank the electrical workers for bringing the amazing play of the game. And it really was. And it was electrifying to be here tonight. And, we mentioned that we had a great JV game, a great varsity game. And we should mention that Phyllis Tubbs was honored at halftime as well for 55 years of service to the Elkhart schools.
That's a start.
That's a good start.
So congratulations to Phillips. Congratulations to the Chargers, 2-0. They'll take on Mishawaka Tuesday night. Meanwhile, Elkhart Central 0-3 takes on South Bend John Adams Tuesday night. Tuesday night, our 46 crew goes on over to Alumni Gym at St. Joe. We'll see Riley and St. Joe, and we'll show it to you Wednesday night at 6. Our thanks to our TV 46 crew who brought you this game tonight, led by the producer, Dean Corsmo, our production director with Tony Beltran. Working the buttons in the truck tonight. Great to have Tom Ward back as well. A reminder, IU basketball on the radio Saturday afternoon at 1. The Hoosiers take on Wisconsin. Sunday afternoon, we split the frequencies on Pulse. The Notre Dame women take on Connecticut at 4 on 92.1 and 96.9. It's Purdue and Northwestern at 5 on 103.1 FM. Then Wednesday night, 6 high school basketball, Riley and St. Joe here on TV 46. For my broadcast partners, the Hall of Famers Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, Chuck Freebie, once again the final, Memorial 67, Central 56. So long from the city with a heart.